A 57-story skyscraper, not a small building, but a tower nearly as tall as a Manhattan high-rise, containing hundreds of apartments, office floors, and commercial spaces. In most countries, a building like that takes 2 to 3 years to construct. In China, one company built it in 19 days. And before you call that an exaggeration or a publicity stunt, the same company built a 10-story apartment, building walls, windows, balconies, plumbing, electrical systems, all of it in exactly 28 hours and 45 minutes. Then, they built a 26-story residential tower with a crew of 100 workers in just 5 days. Then last year, they assembled a 16-story tower in Abu Dhabi, fully fitted residential units, 150 apartments, 164 feet tall, in 96 hours. The buildings are real, the people inside them are real, and the method behind all of it is so different from how the rest of the world constructs buildings that it doesn't even use the same materials, the same process, or the same logic. This is not a faster version of traditional construction. It is a replacement for it. And almost nobody outside of China has understood what that actually means yet. Before we get into how China is doing this, you need to understand why the way the rest of the world builds is so fundamentally broken, because that context is what makes what China built feel so significant. A traditional construction project works like this. Raw materials arrive at a site. Steel is cut and welded on location. Concrete is poured layer by layer, then left to cure for days before the next layer can go on top. Hundreds of different crews, electricians, plumbers, carpenters, glaziers show up in sequence, each one waiting for the previous team to finish before they can begin. Every single step happens outdoors, exposed to weather, dependent on the coordination of dozens of subcontractors who were not designed to work together. The result is a process that routinely runs over time, over budget, and produces enormous quantities of waste. A standard high-rise construction site generates thousands of tons of debris. Workers are injured at rates that make construction one of the most dangerous industries in the world. And a building that was designed in a computer with perfect measurements and perfect specifications arrives in reality as a slightly imperfect approximation, because outdoor construction in variable conditions simply cannot match the precision of a controlled environment. The entire global construction industry has accepted this as normal. One man decided it wasn't. On May 12, 2008, a magnitude 7.9 earthquake struck Sichuan province in southwest China. Nearly 70,000 people died. Schools collapsed. Hospitals collapsed. Apartment buildings that were supposed to protect families became the things that killed them. Zhang Yue watched the aftermath and asked a question that sounds almost too simple in hindsight. Why are we still building buildings this way? Zhang was not a construction man. He ran Broad Group, one of China's largest vac manufacturers based in Changsha. He knew factories. He knew precision manufacturing. He knew how to take raw materials, process them in a controlled environment, and produce components that met exact specifications every single time. And standing in the ruins of Sichuan, he made a decision that most people in his position would never have made. He shut down the direction his company was heading and redirected every engineer, every factory floor, and every production line toward a single question: what if buildings were manufactured like products instead of assembled like accidents? What Broad Group built in response to that question is not a construction company. It is a manufacturing operation. Their main facility in Changsha covers 230,000 square meters, the equivalent of more than 30 football fields under a single roof. Inside that facility, buildings are not planned. They are produced. A building is divided into modules. Think of them as giant steel containers, roughly the size of a standard shipping container, but fully fitted. By the time a module leaves the factory, it already contains finished walls, installed windows, a balcony if the design calls for one, all the plumbing pre-routed, all the electrical wiring pre-run, and all the ventilation ducting already in place. The modules are built from stainless steel. No concrete anywhere in the structure. The steel frame is welded with millimeter-level precision inside a climate-controlled factory where quality checks happen continuously, not occasionally. When a flaw is found, It is found at the factory, not 3 floors up on a building site in the rain, hidden behind a layer of finished drywall. Modules can even be folded for transportation, then unfolded on site. The efficiency this creates is almost difficult to explain to someone who has only ever seen traditional construction. Everything that normally happens sequentially, one trade waiting for another, one layer drying before the next can begin, now happens simultaneously. While one team installs plumbing in Module 40, another team is fitting windows in Module 80, and another is running electrical in Module 120. The bottleneck that defines all traditional construction simply does not exist. The results of this system are the numbers that circulate online and make people assume they are fake. They are not fake. In Changsha, the foundation was prepared, the modules were manufactured, and the moment the first truck entered the construction site, the clock started. Workers used cranes to lift each module, align it with the one below, and lock it in place using high-strength steel bolts. No welding on site, no concrete pouring, no drying time, just precision placement, one module on top of another, floor after floor rising in real time. 10 stories, 28 hours and 45 minutes. The time-lapse video went around the world. The mini Sky City followed 57 floors, 204 meters tall, 19 days from groundbreaking to topped out. Then, a 26-story tower assembled by 100 workers in 5 days, a workforce small enough to fit into a few vans, raising a building taller than most structures in most cities. And most recently, in December 2025, Broad Group completed the Earth Tower in Abu Dhabi, a 16-story, 150-unit residential building for Eagle Hills International, the same developer behind Dubai's Burj Khalifa. 259 modules manufactured in 30 days. Assembly on site completed in 96 hours. The developer who built the tallest building on Earth called it a breakthrough in modern construction. Not a novelty, not a demonstration, a new standard. The most common reaction when people hear these numbers is a version of the same concern: surely a building assembled this quickly cannot be safe. That instinct, while understandable, gets the engineering backwards. Steel has properties that make it superior to concrete for buildings in seismically active regions. Concrete is rigid. Under the sudden lateral forces of an earthquake, rigid structures crack. Steel has ductility. It can flex slightly under load, absorb energy through its connections, and distribute force through the frame instead of concentrating it at a single point. Broad Group's modules are connected by high-strength steel bolts at every joint, creating a structure that behaves like a single integrated frame rather than a stack of separate floors. The company has tested this system to resistance levels that exceed standard earthquake engineering requirements, and they have gone further with a claim that sounds more like marketing than engineering until you look at the reasoning behind it. A structural lifespan of 1,000 years. The argument is, this concrete buildings are designed for 50 to 100 years. They degrade. Their reinforcing steel corrodes. Their maintenance costs increase over time until eventual demolition produces thousands of tons of waste. A stainless steel modular structure does not corrode in the same way. Individual modules can be replaced, upgraded, or refurbished without demolishing the whole building. The structure is maintained, not discarded. Looked at over a long enough time horizon, the steel modular system does not just build faster, it builds more permanently. Modular construction is not the only front where China is rewriting the rules. While Broad Group manufactures rooms in a factory and assembles them on site, a Shanghai-based company called Winsun is printing buildings directly from digital files. Their printer, 132 feet long, 33 feet wide, and 20 feet tall, extrudes a mixture of glass fiber, steel, cement, hardening agents, and recycled construction waste in layers, following a programmed path until a complete wall section emerges. In 2014, Winsun printed 10 houses in a single day at a cost of under $5,000 per house. Not frames, not shells, complete structures. They followed that with a 6-story apartment building and 1,100 square meter luxury residence. They then built a 1,640-foot river protection wall along Suzhou Creek, one of the largest 3D printed structures ever completed anywhere. Winsun now holds 225 patents and has signed contracts in Saudi Arabia, Egypt, and the UAE. The Egyptian government ordered 20,000 units. The scale is not experimental anymore. It is industrial. Here is where the gap becomes uncomfortable. In the United States, the average construction project runs 20% over budget and 80% over schedule. The American construction industry has seen almost zero productivity improvement over the past 50 years, while manufacturing, agriculture, and virtually every other sector have transformed themselves through technology. A hospital that takes 5 years to build in America could theoretically be assembled in weeks using systems that already exist and are already proven. The resistance is not technical. The building codes in most American cities were written around traditional concrete and timber construction. Changing them requires years of regulatory work. The existing supply chain material suppliers, subcontractors, labor unions is built around the old way and has no economic incentive to dismantle itself. So while China assembles 57 story towers in 19 days and exports the technology to the Middle East and Africa, America is still pouring concrete floor by floor and calling it innovation when the schedule slips by less than a year. The 28-hour building is not a trick. It is not a shortcut. What it actually represents is the result of one man standing in the rubble of an earthquake and refusing to accept that the way things had always been done was the way they had to be done. Zhang Yue did not make construction faster. He moved construction somewhere else, entirely out of the chaotic, weather-dependent, error-prone outdoor job site and into a factory where every variable is controlled and every module is inspected before it ever leaves the building. The speed is a side effect of the precision, and the precision is a side effect of a single decision made in the ruins of Sichuan in 2008. The future of construction is not being built on a job site. It is being built in a factory. China already moved in. The rest of the world is still drawing up the plans. If you made it this far, you now understand the technology that is going to replace traditional construction and why the industry most resistant to it is also the one that needs it most. Hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you do not miss what we cover next. Now, I want to know what you think. If a building assembled in 28 hours from factory-built modules was available in your city right now, would you live in it? Drop your answer in the comments below. I read every single one,